In this video, we're going to solve the limit as x approaches negative infinity of 4x cubed plus 1 over 2x cubed plus the square root of 16x to the 6th plus 1. So the first thing we want to do is look at this tricky portion here, this square root. So we have a square root. Let's remember some basic facts about square roots. Remember, if we have the square root of x squared, that is not just equal to x, okay? It's a little more tricky than that. I think the simplest way to remember that is if it were x, let's just plot y equals x. So if we had the square root of 2 squared, that's equal to the square root of 4, which is equal to 2. Okay, so if we plug in x equals 2, and we get back x equals 2, so that looks right. But what if we do the square root of negative 2 squared? That's equal to the square root of 4. Remember, negative 2 squared is 4. And that's also equal to 2. So if we plug in negative 2, we should be up here, not down here on the line, y equals x. So that is not right. We should actually have this on the left-hand side. So actually the square root of x squared is equal to the absolute value of x, right? Looks like this. Okay. So now let's look at this limit again. And so as x approaches negative infinity, let's look at what all of these terms approach. 4x cubed plus 1. Well, plus 1, that doesn't matter. What really matters is that x cubed, right? So this approaches 4x cubed. Remember, you find the highest degree, and that's what matters. Okay, so 2x cubed on the bottom, that approaches 2x cubed. And then this one is tricky. 16x to the 6 plus 1. Well, first, the plus 1 isn't going to matter. We can figure that out, right? If we have x to the 6 versus 1, x to the 6 is going to win out in that fight. So this approaches the square root of 16x to the 6. Okay, but what is that? Well, we did some work over here to figure out what the square root of x squared was. So let's write this more like that. Let's write it as 4x cubed squared. 4x cubed squared is 16x to the 6th. And now we know that this is going to equal the absolute value of 4x cubed, right? Square root of something squared is the absolute value of something. The something is 4x cubed. Okay? And remember, absolute value of x, that's a piecewise function. The right-hand side, or when x is greater than 0, we have x. But on the left-hand side, we have negative x. Right? Think about the way those lines look. This is y equals x on the right, and this is y equals negative x on the left. So it's x when x is greater than 0, and it's negative x when x is less than 0. So that's pretty important for this problem because we have x tending to negative infinity. X is less than 0. So the absolute value of 4x cubed is equal to negative 4x cubed. Okay, so that's what this whole term tends to, is negative 4x cubed. So what does the whole limit equal? I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, well, we know that this plus 1 goes away. So we have 4x cubed. 2x cubed remains the same. And then this whole term, this is tending to negative 4x cubed. Okay, so that's the limit as x approaches negative infinity of 4x cubed. 2x cubed minus 4x cubed is negative 2x cubed. So this is the limit as x approaches negative infinity. Well, now each term has an x cubed, the top and the bottom, so we cross it out. So we have the limit as x approaches negative infinity of negative 2. There's no x in this equation. There's no x inside here. So that's just equal to negative 2. And that is the answer. That whole limit approaches negative 2. It's pretty tricky because of this term here. You know, on one hand, you have the square root of something. On the other hand, you got x being less than 0. So you have to be very careful with how you simplify that term.